there's going to be a Tim McManus article or a Jeff McClain article or a podcast. He does the Uncovering the Birds podcast of like the real story.
The real
and inside story.
Yeah, exactly.
Of what the hell was going on the first like half of the season or maybe first third of the season. Because I don't think these grades got better over the first couple weeks of the season.
No.
Like, we know the bye week was a big part of this season, and then obviously the next week is when Nick Sirianni has his meltdown against the Browns. Like, I don't think...
The bye week, these grades may have actually been lower.
It could have been.
On a lot of these issues.
They were losing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were 2-2, but
they were not playing well, and they were not doing what was expected of them.
They barely beat the Saints. Bad loss against the Falcons. Horrible loss against the Bucs. Granted, all the injuries, but it was a bad loss. A team that didn't even look like they showed up to play.
You barely survive a terrible Saints team.
Yeah.
And then it all comes together.
And so I can't wait for that story to come out. Like, what was the moment? It wasn't just the offensive lineman going to Sirianni saying, let's run the ball more. That may have been the moment that changed the offense for the better. But what was the moment that kind of got everybody in shape? And I'm not saying physically. I'm saying mentally. Like,
that may have been the catalyst to it, though, is that, it's anything. When things start to feel good around your work, everything goes a little better at work.
Yeah.
When you're on a little bit of a roll and you feel like things are positive, it makes every workday better. So maybe the change on the offense is exactly what they needed to jumpstart some positivity. Everybody feels better walking in the building. Look, winning cures a lot.
It does.
It does cure a ton.
And look, you think about it. So they barely beat the Browns, right? The Sirianni meltdown day they barely beat Cleveland.
I've said it before. They barely beat the Browns at home, barely beat the Jags at home, barely beat Carolina at home, barely beat a terrible Saints team. 4 of their wins were against 4 of the worst teams in football, and they looked bad in every one of those games.
They did, but then after
they
that
survived.